Hello, universe. It is 1222 on 2/5. Is it the 5th now? Yep, the 5th. The 5th of February. And so here we are, early on, getting this one in. Actually, that's not true. I was trying to start this like 45 minutes ago, but got distracted by both potato chips and other variables that certainly shouldn't have come into play, but they did, and so here I am. Now it's after midnight, so it's the 5th. And I guess the 4th was a day I needed. It was a day I thank you, universe. You gave me a day I needed in many ways, and then ended it with an exclamation point that I didn't even deserve, but I appreciated. And yeah, I really appreciate it. So leveled me off in the ways that I was allowing myself to become imbalanced, out of balance at work, and then also helped me revive my my social outreach, and also helped me come to terms with my 4-day off plan and getting the old ship back on course, as it were, especially around the house. Anyhow, all that meant probably nothing to anybody listening, even me when I'm re-listening, so apologies for stupid speak. And let's actually purposefully direct the next phase here. And what I wanted to talk about is influence and being a sucker to the influences that make you feel overlooked, maybe is a good word here. Unrecognized is a better word, really. Or underappreciated certainly ekes in there, but I think that's some contamination more than an actual descriptor of this sort of notion, for me at least. Okay, so what do I mean? Well, when I was well, not all through my life, I've always wanted to be noticed for my best moments and overlooked for my worst. I don't know if I'm alone that way. I doubt I am, but and I know how unfair that is. I know how stupidly unreasonable that is, and I know how completely biased and in my favor any of those judgments truly are. And yet, I do know that I also have at times deserved to be judged strictly by my worst behaviors. That they were the dominant force in my life. That I was more unraveling than raveling. That I was a force of negative influence on those around me, not positive influence. And that there were times when I could literally infect another person's vicinity by my reckless disregard for collateral or geographically collateral damage. Yeah, like cheating on a woman I've been dating for 8 weeks with her roommate. These are stupid decisions. And these are the kind of self-centered, egotistical, hole-filling attempts at finding connectivity in the universe, or they are strictly the sociopathic actions of one who could not care less about anything but themselves. I'm willing to accept either diagnosis here. But regardless of how you want to look at it, tonight I had a terrific shift at work. And not because work was unusually out of the ordinary in any capacity. It was a very pedestrian night of activity. But I had a coworker conversation with my coworker who likes to put a little action down on the games, and honestly had the kind of one-to-one connection that I haven't had with a coworker maybe ever. And I know that was 50% because I was open to exactly the truth that is my experience when it comes to gambling, and my conversation therein with this coworker, who I will call Zebra. Well, Zebra was also as forthcoming. And that's what I'm saying. It was an unusual conversation. Those aren't conversations that you get at work, except with reflective, deep-thinking people who are willing to have that kind of exposure in the workplace. And I'll have that kind of exposure anywhere, so that doesn't make a difference to me. But it does to everyone else. Everyone else is a lot more private, for good reason. It's implicit in my current endeavor that I stay completely open book and exposed. And not annoying. I don't want to throw my shit at you in any capacity, especially like a baboon. But I am not here to proselytize. But I am here to be open and honest and direct with who I am and what I've been through, especially if I see somebody else falling into the same quicksand arena. Do you fall into a quicksand arena? Could you even do that? Like, is that possible? Maybe in some silly Star Wars universe offshoot. Point is, whatever traps, snares, choose the jaws of death sort of imagery that you like most here, and then fall into it. Well, if I could stop you from doing that, well, I would try. And so that's what tonight felt like. Trying to not just stop him from falling, but to give him reasons to think about the fact that maybe he's not falling, that maybe all that force and momentum that he thinks is pushing him is just him not turning a different direction and allowing those to become headwinds, to become tailwinds, not headwinds. In other words, why not help a guy reframe exactly the problem that I had to reframe to get over self-loathing in my own life? Gambling was just the easiest place to get enough of a high to deal with all the lows. And when it brought a low, well, it brought the ultimate lows. So there's no question. It's the single most destructive thing you can experience. But like I said, along the way, you get that variance high. And even that was part of my conversation with Zebra tonight, is that variance high is always a variance recovery. You're just not framing it right. You've always lost enough that that's not a high. It's a recovery. It's never even an evening. And I don't mean out on the tone. I mean even-ing. So, and yes, I know they're spelled the same. And yes, I understand. And blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'm talking to myself in that regard. Is there an audience here that's heckling me? Am I heckling myself in my mind? This is pretty good weed. I got some diamonds tonight that these people said was on sale. So I figured, okay, I haven't spent any money on weed in 2 weeks. So how about some Atomic Cocktail Live Diamonds? Well, liftoff initiated and achieved. I'm getting to the moon faster than, well, anybody else these days, right? And this came out of nowhere. I didn't expect this conversation at work. I didn't even really know I was going to. I mean, I kind of knew I was working with somebody till 8, and if I'd have thought about it, I'd have realized it was Zebra. But I'd never even really put together that I had a coworker. I've been working alone most of the time I've been working there, which kind of sucks for me. I'm a social dude. I'd much rather be at work with somebody, having a conversation during the workday. And that was part of what made today a better day. I realized that one of the things that I'm holding against my job is the isolation that it has created for me at work. I spend a lot of time in what would be good time to listen to podcasts, but I'm not allowed to. So I just sit there listening to this music track that includes a lot of bubblegum pop star music over and over again. And that's okay. There's a lot of variety. At least I'm in the back corner, so I see the whole store. There's constant entertainment as if I'm watching television in front of me. Plus the customers are great to interact with, and I have some coworkers I'm developing friendships with. So yakety yak, I'm not about to attack. It's just today was the first day that A, the clock moved without me looking at it. B, I had help and felt camaraderie in the sense of teamwork. I always like to do jobs in more than isolation with other people involved, and a pair working in an equal capacity felt great. And C, we were in an unusually fluid conversation that, like I said, had a lot of, I think, tug and forth in terms of meaning. I got a lot out of it. I hope he did too. And so you'd think that would be the highlight of my workday, which it was for the most part. But why I say my day ended with an exclamation point is because just as I'm finishing up, and I stayed the extra 2 hours to close while he left at 8, so the crew that all leaves as the lights are being turned out are going out the door, and I'm actually leaving 15 minutes after the official close. And as I'm leaving, one of my coworkers who, as I said, I was getting to be friends with some people, she works close enough that perimeter-wise, I see her enough to know her name and have said hi to her. And she's standing with the store manager in the entryway and is clearly shaken. And as I'm asking if I can help, they're dialing the police, and I think, oh my God, literally what's going on? I thought we were locked down. I thought I thought the building had been cordoned closed. I'm thinking like all kinds of crazy shit. Well, it turns out that someone had broken into her car. Well, I think, here's the thing. And so anyway, I walk into this situation at 10:15, and of all the things that I always am like, why can't I just be a guy who can help out? Well, here is a coworker who literally just walked outside, found her passenger side car window busted, is driving home at night. It's 10 o'clock, so it's dark and late. It's cold, and she's got a shattered window. And, and this is weird at the very least. And so she's shaken, and I'm literally walking out the door with my drill, because I brought my drill to work to core out the stupid deck brush that somebody broke the handle and left the core of the handles into the thread. So I cored it out with my drill so we could put a new handle in there. Yeah, I had a deck brush tonight, so I didn't even need the mop. Making things better, little bits at a time. Anyway, speaking of making things better, I walk, she has just come in. She's all alone. So I walk her outside to make sure that she can at least see if she's lost anything, if somebody has taken anything, so that she hasn't even done an inventory yet. And it doesn't appear that anything's been stolen. She says her sunglasses are sitting right there, yakety yak, right? And it does look like it's just random act of violence. So, I ask her if she has any enemies. She's no, but it almost like, could a meteor have shot through her window? Like, and there is no other damage to the car whatsoever. I mean, it's like somebody hit her car window with a hammer. And even the way it's broken, there are shards of glass that are the length of the window. So whatever hit it created a crack that was horizontally at a maybe 15-degree angle across at least the top third of the window. So that's a that isn't shattering with a hammer. Period. That's not a point of impact that is precise. That is something like a golf club or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, it's weird enough that as I'm helping her at least contact the police, of course, which was no help. You're supposed to do that online now. Oh, quickly get on our website and tell us what happened. Anyway, sorry, not to be dismissive, but that's shitty. So as we're cleaning up the glass so she doesn't get a flat tire on top of what else has happened to her, my parental instinct kicks in. I'm just like, will you at least call me when you get home so that if this is something other than what looks like random violence, some jackass with a bet with his drunk buddy that he could go smash a window in the Sprouts parking lot, picked her car. Let's hope that's all this is, right? Well, if not, at least if I don't hear from her when she gets home, then I can call the police and say, this is the situation. I hope you can go help her if she's in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, how do you get conditioned to walk into the situation like that and react well to it? Like, I mean, I guess covering your bases so that if this isn't some random act of violence and if some terrible, jealous boyfriend she forgot about from high school is stalking her 6 years later or whatever timeline is appropriate here, God, I'm spooked that my mind went there, but I'm also glad that it did because it was the right thing to do to make sure she did call me when she got home or text me so that there isn't that. God, what if tomorrow she's missing and I was the last person to see her? I mean, what a horrible train of thought to have. And to have it to feel secure so that a closure loop comes back and says, I can sleep better because what I hope was a meteor falling literally through her car window at least appears not to have been a stalker waiting for her in a bush to abduct her on the way home. Okay. Did the world get a little brighter, a little darker and all that? I don't even know. I don't even know. But my day got a little more balanced because I really think that it took me a long time to understand this. I really think that I have a gift for helping other people in capacities that I do not have the same gift to help myself. And when I say that I'm okay getting taken at a used car dealership because I'm kind, yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't love it, I wish I was a keen negotiator with a South Asian eye for pricing, and yet I'm not. If I'm willing to pay $100 for somebody and somebody's selling it for 110, and they say I won't budge, you know what? I'm going to pay 110. I'm sorry, but now I need to recircle back here. The truth is, I have a capacity in which it took a long time to believe I was kind and had a helpful aura, outreach, persona of true helpful value for other people because I had so much trouble helping myself. How could I really be so much of a muse to the rest of the universe if I'm such a terrible muse for myself? Well, it turns out that's just the way it is for me. I know it sucks. I mean, it really does. But nights like tonight are what are my muse. and hear me out. My coworker needed this conversation with me. I know I can do good for my coworker by helping him unwind the knots that he's tied himself in. Because a lot of them are the same knots I tied myself in. And I'm not going to be able to do this for him, but I'm going to be able to give him enough to think about, to let him walk down that path a little easier than I did it by just bumping my way through it. I know why he's there, so I can polish that side of myself and know how to give that to people who need it. Because I know a lot of people out there are both addicted to gambling and addicted to deviant and drug behavior. So helping know how I turned that around is part of what Zebra and I are going to converse about over the course of the time we work together, and I look forward to all of that. Great part of today is now I have this thing to look forward to work every time I work with that particular African bovine, and by that I don't mean anything symbolic at all. I'm just high. But I look forward to those shifts. So good. Find things to look forward to in life. If you can't find them, go find them harder. There's one. And I got to play, rescuer is so strong of a word here. It's not totally it's inappropriate in ways that are not even, boy, I'm too high to even talk. All right, listen. I got to play rescuer in the sense that I was there to sweep up some glass and make sure somebody didn't get a flat tire on it, having already had their window broken in. But the thing this person most needed was not to be alone in that moment. And for whatever reason, the universe threw me out the door at the time that person needed somebody to be there. I had nothing better to do, so of course I'm going to help out. But I'll help out anybody at any time, but rarely am I helping out somebody who truly needs help. And tonight I got to do that. And that helps me, because it reminds me that the universe still has people that need help, and that I'm still filling that role. Even if it's as stupid as helping somebody get a hold of the police and sweep up some glass after having their car window randomly broken into while they're at work. I was the one who fell into the situation to be in support. And that makes me feel good. I like to support people who need help. So, thanks for the exclamation point on my day, universe. Thanks very much. I had a great day. I hope you did too. I really do.